everyone, I'm Flo, Duty's behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. We are making a very simple, spicy noodle soup today. Fall is definitely here. It's super rainy here in Vancouver. That's why we call it Raincouver. We are making this a soupy dish because it really does warm us up. And when I say spicy, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know it's not very spicy, but you can adjust the spice to whatever level you want. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe because it really does help the channel. We're going to start with the broth. I'm using 4 cups of chicken broth that I made from Better Than Bouillon. There's nothing fancy going on here, guys, but if you want to use homemade chicken stock, by all means. This is just my cheater method to get a dinner on the table quickly. I'm using 4 cups of oat milk here. You can substitute with a soy milk, and basically what we're doing is just mimicking the pork broth that the Japanese or even the Chinese make using pork bones or fish bones for fish broth, and it turns out milky if you've boiled it long enough. So obviously 15 minutes isn't going to do it. It's like a 24-hour affair. So I'm just going to use this. And oat milk is a really good option because it's creamy, and I think traditionally if they were going to not make the pork broth, they would use the soy milk. So check it out. Okay, I'm just going to put this on the stove and heat it up to a simmer. We're making a spicy pork mixture to go on top. So I am going to start with my aromatics. I have 2 green onions. Just gonna chop off the bottoms, and the white and light green parts we're gonna put into cooking the pork, and then the dark green parts we're going to use as garnish on top. I also have 2 giant cloves of garlic. It's probably 4 normal sized pieces of garlic. So you can use as much or as little as you like. Oh, it's really juicy too. All right, last pass. Just a small nub of ginger I'm going to grate. I've already peeled it. And to peel ginger, you just need to use like the blunt side of a knife or a spoon, and the skin just scrapes right off. And we're just gonna grate this because I like the fineness of the grater. I can't seem to chop it up fine enough for what I like anyways. We're going to move on to the sauce. I have 1 tablespoon of sugar already in the bowl, and the sugar is to balance out all the flavors that we're going to add. So I'm using 4 tablespoons of roasted sesame paste. If you don't have roasted sesame paste, I wouldn't substitute tahini because it's really not the right flavor, but peanut butter is a really good option. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, just regular soy sauce or light soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce has a different flavor, like it's not as salty, but it does add a very rich color to whatever you're making. And 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. I'm using a tablespoon of the chili paste. Now, I know that it's not that spicy for us in the amount that we're making, but you can adjust it accordingly depending on whatever chili paste you're using. They all have a different level of heat, so adjust accordingly. And we're gonna give this a stir. Okay, we're setting this aside. This is a super simple and inexpensive meal where you're not skimping on flavor, and it's just a delicious bowl for, what, 10 bucks, maybe 12 bucks for the whole thing. That's unheard of these days. Okay, heating up my frying pan. You can use a wok if you want. Just on medium high. Adding about a tablespoon of avocado oil. Use any neutral flavored oil. And I'm using 1 pound of ground pork. Just gonna let this sear on one side before moving it around. Just flattening it out. And if you wanted to use chicken instead, or turkey, or even beef, it's totally up to you. I'm choosing to use pork today. Great. You just want to have a little bit of color on the bottom. So it's frying. And now we're just gonna cook it through. And once the pork is evenly cooked through, I'm gonna just push it off to the side. And all the fat is gonna pool in the middle, and I'm gonna add all of my aromatics. My green onion, garlic, and ginger all at once. Okay, stir it all together. And I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. And maybe a teaspoon of the chili paste. You can add more if you want, but remember there's still that chili paste in the sauce that we've made. This is just to flavor up the pork because we didn't marinate it, which I find marinating ground pork isn't necessary because it just absorbs all the flavors of whatever you're making anyways, and it cooks so quickly, there's no need to marinate. All right, that's it, turning it off. I'm just making 1 portion of noodles. And it only takes about 3 minutes. So these are just yellow wheat noodles. You can use egg noodle or ramen noodle, which is like instant noodles, or fresh ramen, totally up to you. You can use whatever noodles you want. So I'm gonna put the sauce actually straight into the bowl. And this will give the sauce a more, a stronger flavor than if I were to cook it with the pork. So maybe about 4 teaspoons worth. You can always add more. When there's about a minute left on your noodles, I'm gonna toss the bok choy in. Just 2 halves per person. And for vegetables, you can use whatever vegetables you want. Spinach, yao choy or choy sam, gailan, anything like that. All right, going to get our noodles in here. Okay, and the bok choy. All right, we're gonna add some of this pork on top of the noodles. Then ladle in the soup. When you're making it at home, you can use as much soup as you like. I also have a ramen egg here that I'm going to just cut in half, that I made earlier. Garnish with some of that green onion. I know Dude is gonna want some extra chili oil, so just drizzle some of that over top. All right, are you all ready for?
Ooh. I'm a big fan of noodles and soup noodles, especially when it comes to the season, when it's that feeling of, man, it's a little bit chilly out there. So let's get into it. Oh, yes, nice, look at that color. Ramen eggs, bunch of yolk, and lots of good stuff going on here. Let's mix it around. Remember, we have that sauce down, waiting to be stirred up. Well, look at that. The soup, it's transforming as you mix up what's at the bottom. But let's just get into that broth all on its own. Remember? That's where the heart of a soup noodle is. It's rich, it's creamy, lots of body, and just enough heat for me. So you want more heat, add more. Wow, love it. That shortcut tonkatsu vibe broth, we're using the oat milk. It's good, it works. So good. Can't wait to eat the rest of it.
Awesome, thanks, dude. You can check out this recipe on my website, flowlum.com.